I spent 26 years as a freelance TV news photographer covering areas in eastern Massachusetts. The event I'm going to talk about took place March 21st, 1986 at 1:35 hours in the morning. I used to start my shift somewhere around 10:30 to 11 o'clock at night, and I would be camped out in the Dorchester, Roxbury area of Boston. On this particular overnight, the overnight temperature was hovering around 1 degree Fahrenheit, and there was a gusty wind blowing in the range of anywhere from 10 to 35, 40 miles an hour. On this particular shift, I started my overnight action in the Howard Johnson's parking lot on Surface Road in Dorchester. It was a good location for breaking out of the city quickly, and considering the temperature and wind chill, I figured there wouldn't be too much street crime that night. It was going to be more of a fire action type situation. So this was a good location for me to camp out in. There was good access to the expressway southbound and pretty good access for the expressway northbound. You just had to go up to Columbia Road and turn around to go north. As I was sitting in the parking lot, the wind was actually rocking my car back and forth, and I was thinking, boy, I really don't want to get out of my heated car on this shift. So I was kind of hoping that nothing would happen. But anyhow, around 1:35 in the morning, the Boston Fire radio lit up, and I heard a call from Boston Fire calling for a reported building fire on Mercer Street in South Boston. I immediately popped my car into gear and started rolling down Surface Road towards Boston Street, which would be the way to get to Mercer. I didn't get very far before Boston Fire radio lit up again, and Boston Fire came out saying, receiving multiple reports of a building fire on Mercer Street. When Boston Fire says they're receiving multiple reports, it's probably good, and so I immediately went into a phase 1 response, which is don't let anything stop you, just keep going. As I raced up Boston Street, as I was crossing the railroad bridge, I could see black smoke on the horizon. I could also see a glow on the horizon. So at this point I knew it was absolutely for real and was going to be big. I quickly grabbed my cell phone and gave a call to my number 1 customer, letting them know that I was on the way to a fire in South Boston and that I would get back to them. As I arrived at the scene, I quickly spotted a parking spot which was maybe 150 yards from the actual fire scene, and dumped my car there, jumped out, and threw on my gear. Back then, my gear consisted of 3 pieces. There was a camera, which weighed about 20 pounds. There was a deck that weighed about 20 pounds. And there was a light and battery pack, which also weighed about 20 pounds. The fire went to 8 alarms. Two firemen were injured in a rather bizarre incident in front of the main fire building. The main fire building had become weakened by the fire and eventually collapsed onto the street. And when it did, it pushed a large tree that was in front of it, a large dead tree, into the street. The tree hit 2 firemen, and one of the 2 firemen did not make it. To see the video that I shot that night of the fire, click on the link below this video, and that'll take you right to it. Well, that's the story for today. Stay safe out there, keep the rubber side down. Remember, there's danger everywhere. And also, remember, I'll be back.